Welcome to my first video. I am Rodney. Those of you that know me from my Instagram, thanks for watching. Wanted to just introduce myself to all of you that are watching this video and that have watched my channel for the first time, because this is my introduction video. I wanted to make sure I properly introduce myself here. So I'm gonna be sharing lots of different things on this video. I have very eclectic taste, from the travels I do to the coffee to the food to a lot of other things, but I'll try to really keep to a theme here of just like setting itineraries, how I got to where I'm at with these itineraries, what inspired me over the past couple years. Hopefully I'll show you like the first trip I planned after I became a travel agent, and then the first trip I did after some things happened to me, and also after the pandemic was over. So, you'll get to see this journey. And again, anything you might want to suggest, I'm well open to all that, because I'm just here talking. This is what I do. If you've seen some of my other Instagram contents, I just put my face on there and talk. So when people see me in person, they know for sure it's me. I have several side hustles, one of which is I sell collectibles. And so when I'm at my booth, people will see my Instagram and then they'll show it to me to confirm it's me. And then they'll say, "Oh yeah, your face is there, it's you." So it's all good, right? Again, this little introduction hopefully gives you an idea of what I'm going to be doing on this channel. I'm very excited. I've been thinking about doing this for a while. I've dabbled with Instagram. I do edits on my videos and such, but I think that this is the way to go, so that I simply get more audiences watching my stuff and seeing my Instagram. And yeah, I've done international travel by myself. The first trip I did solo was 2019. It was very eye-opening, and I was inspired to do more. I thought I was going to do more, but the pandemic happened. And then after the pandemic, I had some life-changing health issues, which I'll hopefully talk to you all about here as well, just to show you how I've bounced back from all that. I've done a lot to get there, and I'd really like to share so I can help inspire other people. The other thing is that I started traveling within the US after the pandemic, because that's all we can do. And ultimately it led me to different destinations. One might wonder why I chose those, so I'll share the inspirations behind them. And then it all culminated in me going to Europe for the first time ever in 2022. I decided one day, I woke up and I was like, I'm going to be in Paris for my birthday. So that's just that. So I wanted to tell you all about it. So anyways, thanks for watching. We will continue this journey together. Alright, so let's begin this journey. I'm still in the car. I'm on my morning drive. Don't mind the car and the outfit. I wear this outfit a lot because it's just easy. Any case, I to share how I got into traveling and where it took me, and then how I became a travel agent. So that's what we'll talk about here. I used to only travel like once a year or so. When I started working, I was focused on my career and focused on graduate school. So really, I didn't really travel much aside from short weekend trips and things like that. So, not much going on. And then later on, I got inspired by just going to different countries with my family, namely in Asia. So it would be like, we got to go to China, let's stop somewhere along the way or so. So I've been to Vietnam, Hong Kong, Taiwan, China, obviously. I've been to China 5 times ever since I turned 17. So it became like a every couple year trip to go to China. But it wasn't to different destinations. It was mostly the same area. I've been to Guangdong province 4 times, and it was spaced out like every other year. And then the last time I went, it was 2018, and that's because I was going to Nepal, because one of my friends from my work, longtime friend of mine, I had been talking about, if you ever go to Nepal, I'd like to go. And so the opportunity came. I went to Nepal, and back then there was China Southern Airlines. So I took China Southern, and it allowed me to have that layover at Guangzhou, and I was able to stop there and actually go see my relatives for some time. And then the highlight of that trip to Guangzhou was that I got to venture around Hong Kong by myself for the first time ever. So I was walking around Hong Kong. I went up the escalators, the mid-level escalators. This was like after having seen the Anthony Bourdain show and seeing him do it, and then it was kind of my way to remember his adventures. This was after he had passed away and such, and it became me just going through the entire set of escalators until the end and not knowing where I was, and ultimately taking a bus back to the bus station just so I could get back to where I was staying. But it was really, really special to me, and I will share a picture of it so that you all can see what I'm talking about. But there were just these moments, right? There's these moments that you have to do. It's kind of like a personal mission that you just go and you just do, right? So that's what I did. It was amazing. And then I randomly went to like different places, and just wow, it was special. So that was 2018. And then after doing that, because I did that mostly solo, I thought I could do an entire trip solo. So fast forward to spring 2019, there was a big sale again by China Southern, and I decided that I was going to go to Malaysia and Singapore as my first solo trip, because I thought, let me get my feet wet, thinking that there was going to be more coming after that, right? Because ultimately my bucket list was filling up, because I wanted to do Cambodia, and I was debating between Cambodia or Malaysia, but well, I decided Malaysia. And then shortly after that, I became a travel agent with IntelliTravel as my host. And there might be a lot of things all over the internet about these travel agent hosts, but really, they do work. They are what you make of it. I can share more later my experience. They work. I learned a lot. I learned, namely, during the pandemic, how best to get refunds on flights. Not really about how to book travel, but along the way, I learned a lot of things, and I did a lot. I signed up for a lot of things. I got lots of brochures. I will show you a picture of those brochures so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. I still have a lot of brochures at home. I was able to be fortunate enough to get access to the Travel and Adventure Show for free as a travel agent for 3 straight years. And again, networking, meeting people, learning about sites, watching a lot of other YouTubers, seeing where they're going, letting that be my bucket list inspiration. It was just amazing. So anyway, I will share some photos soon and give you some backstory to them, like I told you. So stay tuned and continue watching this video. Follow, like, subscribe, you know the deal. My first ever YouTube. Let's get at it, guys. This is the photo I took at the mid-levels escalators. Iconic view, daily life, Hong Kong. I just kept walking. I didn't know where I was going. I just wanted to recreate that scene from watching Anthony Bourdain. How special is this? Those of you that have been here, it's a way to simply get around the city, and people just walk and they go places. I was just walking to be part of it and soak it all in. And then once I was done, I left the escalators, and I didn't know where I was in the city because I hadn't really explored it much. So I just got on any bus and said, take me over to the subway so I can go back to where I was at. But again, special time, you guys. Special time, inspiration at its finest. So I just had a bunch of these brochures at home. This is when I first started as a travel agent. I was gathering all these and using them to learn about destinations, and then looking at places that when I needed to help quote for clients. Yes, I did do quotes. Yes, I actually did some sales. I'll show you all at some point the kind of quotes I would put together. They're very intricate, lots of learning in order to do those quotes. I definitely learned a lot. Like I said, it was a great time. So yeah, the Hong Kong trip, that was before travel agent work. And then later in other videos, I'll show you after I became a travel agent and the kind of trips then I would take and the kind of hotels I would choose, the kind of things I would do. But yeah, like I said, continue watching so you can see.